Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Oh, let's talk about the saga. Let's talk about this saga. My God, yo. Whew. Okay, so we had a lot of unfortunate fodder get absolutely destroyed this week. Not only on the side of the people who are trying to save the prince, but also on our side. No, not on our side, but on the side of the people who had the prince captured in this giant forest fire that was created by Askeladd or whatever. But to know that this whole entire thing kind of was saved and didn't go too much further was because of Thorfinn. Thorfinn was the true saving grace for this moment, and to see that, it had me dying because at the end of the day, you guys got to remember that I am pretty aware of things I'm watching. Like I pay attention to very, very small details for whatever stupid reason, right? And one stupid thing that I had in my head this whole time is somehow this man has assimilated his fingers back on to his body. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about seeing this episode, right? Like, he went from losing two fingers to, in a lot of the scenes from, I think, 2 episodes after that scene, to having them, right? Like, he had, or at least the way the animation was, there was no dramatic change to his fighting or to his hands once this happened, and he should have been, down some limbs. But regardless of that fact, they go back and they take it back and they're like, yo, this guy definitely is missing something. So don't worry, everybody, we know if you noticed it, and if you didn't notice it, we got you. Like, like you trusted us so heavily, and you get what you want. It's the trust and attention to detail. Man, like, if he just showed up and he didn't say anything about the one actual scar that he's actually gained since we actually met him, huh? Yeah, he hasn't really taken any damage since we've met Thorkel, or yeah, Thorbell. Doorbell. Sorry. But that is ridiculous to me. Is the only person to really leave a scar on him is our little boy, our little warrior. And for him to hear these words from such a man that is, outrageously in love with war, loves to fight, loves to even, bask in the glory of the fight, so much that he wasn't just going to let his teammates come in the fight much quicker. He's going to accept a duel at any chance he gets. And with him saying, I'm going to chase you down, and if you escape, you win, and if I catch you, I win, it puts out this notion again of he's just playing, right? He's just playing with his food. He's been bored this whole time. The one time he gets in a fight, the people are lying about having over 2,000 men when they only have maybe 400 or something. So yeah, they had literally 400 because our mercenaries knew how much men they had, and Thorkel guessed it. He guessed about how many people went down and how many people were taken out by, I'm guessing he surveyed. That's another thing that kind of scares me about him, is he's war hungry, but somehow he was counting out, how many people he had taken down and stuff like that. So if he can do that, that's a pretty sketchy way of having somebody out there. Not only that, he sensed the fire before it even really kind of happened, I want to say. Like, he had a feeling that, yeah, he said the coal was in the air, so he was smelling, before the oil and the fire actually kicked off, he was smelling the movement of the things to even start the fire. So he has a lot of really crazy sixth senses in battle. So to think that he's just going to be someone at the end of the day that they think they can either beat, or that they could win in any way but, you know, doing these moves that kind of put you in a position to be like, ooh, was this really that like warrior like, or was this kind of, you know, like a loser? We're out here making fires and trying to smoke people out and stuff. So so funny that this smoke screen served its purpose so well that two people from opposing sides were like working together and didn't even know it until, you know, it was too late. And they're like, oh wait, we're on different teams, bro, like we gotta finish this right now. And then our mercenaries, of course, ruin the fun, losers. But yeah, overall this show is ridiculously paying attention to every aspect that they can really you know, put into the screen. Anything we really see on screen, I feel like is being represented relatively well, right? Like we even hear how much of Thor, you know, was actually told, you know, like how much did people really know about his father, and if he was this strong and this renounced to him, to somebody that supposedly, you know, worked together with people that supposedly work together with the mercenaries that he's with. I mean, I'm pretty sure they said something along the lines that they worked with Thor Kell before, right? And they thought he would, as soon as London or whatever, this battle starts trickling down and getting boring and ending, he would switch to whatever side he felt like he could get a fight out of or something along those lines. So and that's another reason why they sent a whole entire troop from the king to try to recruit him while they were still on the London Bridge and stuff like that. So that's another really interesting fact of them just having this feeling, like this overall thought process that regardless of everything that's going on, there's a chance that he's still going to switch sides or do whatever the heck he wants at the end of the day, which he shows a lot of that, but it seems like his attention is very, very much so focused on the king if he knows that the prince is being sent there, which he kind of looked like a princess, but I'm not gonna, you know, I mean, it would make sense that they would call him a prince just so it holds a bigger image than, oh, a princess. And then because he called him a prince, because you put this label on her, if it is a girl, it literally would lead into this, oh, then he needs experience. Why hasn't he been on the field? As a boy, or like as whatever age you were, my king, you were out there, you know? So all of these comparisons start to be brought up when you have someone like this, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's still a guy. I mean, it's not that crazy to see a guy that looks more like feminine than men, than these guys out here that have been, you know, fighting for their life all the time and rough and tough, and this person that's been catered all their life and take care of and showered every day and, you know, bathe, I should say, took a bath every single day, unlike these people. You know, your skin's gonna look pretty nice. But overall, the other thing that really caught my attention, really, and I kind of already touched up on it, was Thorfinn and his hearing about his father, and just something that I'm guessing he kind of expected, right? Like he could probably guess that he was his father was something to be revered or along those lines, because of the way that they already went out to try to attack him. You know, like the things they did just to kind of get a better footing on his father should give him a little bit of that explanation of how powerful he was, including seeing battles now that, you know, people don't even get those chances. He saw someone get his head lobbed off for no reason, you know, like besides the fact that the captain of his squad, or the people that he's trying to follow and take out the captain of, literally just wants more, you know, credit than he was already going to get. So that's the type of man that he's following. That's the type of man that he wants to take out. And to know that there's, you know, only four people or three people, or two people in the way of getting the prince alone and just taking him for themselves is probably rather, sketchy for the other people if they knew that, right? But we all know, as like the people that are with Thorfinn, that this captain is willing to just sever heads if need be, to get all of his prize. But at the same time, it probably would sound better if somebody from like the army itself, praised him and said he brought back the prince. But at the same time, it just, like he's been saying, he might not get as much of a reward, so why not take his head too, while nobody can really stop him. See, that guy has himself a prince that might be a princess, and a priest that if he's not drunk, he starts to absolutely lose his mind and forget even why he is a Christian. So yeah, that's a thing. So very, very powerful stuff. This show has always been really relatively interesting to me in the grand scheme of how they use a lot of, the Vikings mythology. Not only that, they're using it in the right way of, blending like all these other religional things that are trying to, sway people's sides of who they fight for. But at the same time, people are still doing this to this day, this comparison, this, like judgmental thing where you kind of get to put on the line what you believe is better, when it doesn't necessarily matter, right? Like, as long as you have something to believe in that might make you stronger on the battlefield, that's fine. But to then compare it was just, like we saw towards the end of it all, and the smoke and all this danger, none of that stuff is going to help you. The only thing that's going to help you is knowing your surroundings, being willing to fight for whatever, and being like a Thorkel, or even the mercenaries who have a pretty good understanding of what they're getting into, and just making a choice and following through. So I can't wait to see this quote-unquote chase that we're going to get of a ridiculously powerful man chasing down this prince or princess that he just let go, all for the fun fact of getting to run down somebody and fight a crazy fight with a kid that gave him some troubles, and a good group of mercenaries that might actually push him to try to destroy a whole lot of them. So we'll see how this all plays out. I'm interested to see what you guys are talking about. There is somebody that's been giving me some extra courage to, like, pay attention to all the small details and stuff, because as an anime reviewer, I love what I do, and I get to talk to some amazing people that already know things but still choose not to spoil me, and that's a lot on my plate. So to live up to the expectations of just watching, enjoying, and saying what I actually feel is amazing. That's all I have to do, is be honest. So I can't wait to be honest in 2 more videos with y'all. I will definitely catch you in the next one. And with all that being said, I am the Anime J, and I will talk to you later. Peace. See if I can get the screen.